Hey there everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're jumping into a holiday tradition lost to the times of cable past. Holiday James Bond marathons.
Always thought Christmas only comes once a year.
Whether it's Sean Connery, Roger Moore, George Lazenby, Dalton, Brosnan, or Craig, you're in for a treat.
So isn't it time you unwrapped your present?
But first, I want to give a quick shout out to vidIQ, the tool that I use to research topics, tune titles, and thumbnails, and see what exactly is trending. Hit the vidIQ link in the description to try it out and support the channel. Hey, and while you're down there,
now pay attention, please.
Subscribe and consider joining as a member. It's a new thing I'm trying out. We've got the 99-cent club, which gives you a rolling shout out at the end of videos, and the $5 Bill Murray, which ups the ante with early access to new videos. So give it a shot. I really appreciate it. And if you want, check out some of my original merch at the Easy Shop. Anyway, let's get back to it.
This way, please.
This is Easy Remembers 007 Days of Christmas. Remember holiday movie marathons? Those Thanksgiving and Christmas one-hit wonders? Or instant classics? It's a Wonderful Life, A Christmas Story, Christmas Vacation, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Dutch. The list could go on, really. But I bet you there's one set of films you didn't really think about when it came to holiday movie marathons.
Bond. James Bond.
There was a time when the holidays didn't start with Hallmark movies or Marvel reruns, but with a gun barrel, a swell of brass, and a smug British spy ordering something shaken, not stirred. The cable guide would quietly whisper those magic words: 007 Days of Christmas, 15 Days of 007, 7 Days of 007. And suddenly, my December plans were set. The rotation was always flooded with Roger Moore. He was never my favorite Bond.
You must take my word for it.
But there was a strange comfort in how often his movies showed up. Like that one holiday relative you don't exactly love, but it wouldn't feel right without him.
Merry Christmas! Dinner was full!
For me, the crown jewels were always Goldfinger and You Only Live Twice.
Positively shocking.
I do miss those marathons. There was something special about sitting cross-legged on the floor, your stuff strewn all over the living room, while Bond wrapped up another mission in the background. And the funniest part, Bond barely ever brushed up against Christmas on screen. And yet those Thanksgiving and Christmas cable marathons became just as much of a holiday tradition as turkey and ham and Tangled Lights.
Always wanted to have Christmas in Turkey.
So how does it even happen? How does James Bond get a holiday movie marathon? The short answer is not magic or destiny. It was cable math. Somewhere around the early 90s, a programmer at TBS looked at a post-Thanksgiving schedule. What they saw was a long stretch of cheap, empty airtime, right after rating sweeps. They realized that they were sitting on a stack of 007 films that they'd already paid for. So you've got a whole library of Bond movies, you've already written the check, and you need an event to slap on the promos. So you give it a cute name like the 007 Days of Christmas, run Bond wall to wall for a week, and suddenly you've manufactured a tradition out of accounting. Bond was perfect for that stunt because he's plug-and-play television. You don't need to know what happened in the last movie or even in the last scene. Every film is basically the same sacred ritual. Cool pre-title stunt, gun barrel, M growling at Bond in an office, a visit to Q branch for gadgets, a villain with a weird quirk, an exotic location, a Bond girl, something explodes. You can walk into a Bond movie at the 40-minute mark and immediately understand the mission. For a cable network, that's a dream. People can channel surf into the movie at random and stay. One franchise, multiple age groups, no homework required. There was also this sneaky synergy going on with the release calendar. Starting in the Brosnan era, new Bond films tended to drop in late fall, right around November. So if a new 007 was in theaters, the network could run the older ones as a warm-up act. You're sitting at home during Thanksgiving break, you keep stumbling onto a marathon. You see the promo for a new movie in theaters, and suddenly Bond is just part of the season. It wasn't a studio decree or some grand holiday strategy. It was just everybody trying to squeeze one more ticket sale and one more rating point out of the same tuxedoed spy. And then there's the branding. 007 Days of Christmas, 7 Days of 007, 5 days of 007. You hardly even have to write the promo copy. Throw Connery's face on screen, play the brass hit from the theme, put snowflakes behind the logo, done. It sounds like something that has always existed, like 12 Days of Christmas, but with more volcano layers and fewer partridges. Even when the rights moved around from TBS to Spike or other cable channels, the formula stayed the same. Bundle the movies, wrap them in a pun, pretend it's a tradition, and let sheer repetition do the rest. And the repetition is what welded it to the holidays. You kept seeing the same titles in the same rough seasonal window, year after year. Roger Moore films endlessly looping, Connery classics anchoring the lineup, the occasional Dalton or early Brosnan thrown in like a treat. You might not have been keeping track of exact schedules, but your brain was. After a while, the association sets. Cold weather, break from school, too much food. And somewhere in there, Bond making a quip as he drops a villain off a cliff. That's how a scheduling stunt turns into a ritual. Of course, cable doesn't rule the world anymore. The old feeling of this is on now, and if I don't watch it, I miss it, has been replaced by every Bond ever is on some streaming service. And I can technically watch it whenever I want, which means I probably won't. The marathons haven't vanished completely, they're just scattered around. You'll still see a Bond block pop up on some cable channel around Thanksgiving, or a free streaming service will spin up a 007 channel and run them in order. But it doesn't hit quite the same as flipping through channels, stumbling onto a Bond halfway through, and deciding, yeah, okay, this is what I'm doing for the next 2 hours. So when we talk about missing those 007 days of Christmas, we're not just talking about missing a bunch of movies in a row, we're missing a weird little intersection of cheap TV economics, limited choices, and seasonal boredom that accidentally created something cozy. The networks were just trying to fill airtime with a package they already owned. We were the ones who turned it into a tradition. So yeah, I remember, and that's why I gotta ask you, remember the James Bond holiday marathons? What's your favorite movies? What's your favorite marathons? Even if it's not James Bond, let me know in the comments below. Please remember to like and subscribe, maybe even join as a member. Hit the easy shop, and above all else, have a good time. Thanks for everything. I'll see you next time.